लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन जरूर प्रेस करें।
Rain poured over the city like it wanted to wash away every trace of struggle and pain. Inside a small cafe near the towering glass building of Richmond Enterprises, a young woman sat nervously, clutching her worn leather handbag and bouncing a baby on her lap. Her eyes were tired but kind, filled with the quiet strength of someone who had faced more storms than sunshine. Her name was Maya Thompson. 26. Single mother. College dropout. And about to walk into the biggest job interview of her life. She glanced at the clock, 9:42 a.m. The interview was at 10. She tried to hush her baby, Liam, who was now fussing for his bottle. She gave him a quick feed, whispering, "Mommy just needs this one chance, okay? Just one." When the rain slowed, she wrapped Liam in a thin blanket, gathered her folder of certificates, and hurried toward the skyscraper. As she entered the marble lobby, heads turned. Not because she looked beautiful, though she did, in a quiet way, but because she carried a baby in her arms. The receptionist hesitated when Maya explained she was here for an interview with Mr. Adrian Blake, the CEO himself. The woman smiled awkwardly. "I'm sorry, but are you sure you want to take the baby in?" Maya's heart sank. "I don't have anyone to leave him with. Please, I won't cause trouble. I just need this chance." The receptionist sighed softly, then made a call. After a brief pause, she said, "Mr. Blake says, you may come up." Maya took a deep breath, clutching Liam closer as she entered the private elevator. She rehearsed every possible answer in her mind, what she'd say about her gap years, her experience, her dreams. But nothing could prepare her for what happened next. The elevator doors opened to reveal a man in his early 30s, tall and impeccably dressed, with sharp blue eyes that softened the moment they fell on her child. "Miss Thompson?" he asked. "Yes, sir. I'm so sorry I brought my baby. I didn't have anyone to." But before she could finish, Adrian Blake, the billionaire CEO known for his cold efficiency, stepped forward and, unexpectedly, picked up the child. "It's all right," he said with a smile that seemed to melt the tension from the air. "He's got your eyes." Maya froze, her heart pounding. No one had ever spoken about her or her son that way, with warmth, without judgment. Adrian motioned for her to sit. "Tell me about yourself, Miss Thompson." The interview went on for nearly an hour. Liam occasionally babbled, and instead of frowning, Adrian laughed. When the baby dropped his toy, the CEO himself picked it up. By the end of the meeting, Maya's voice trembled as she said, "Thank you, sir. I know I'm not the ideal candidate, but I'll work harder than anyone." Adrian leaned back, studying her for a moment. "You remind me of my mother," he said quietly. "She raised me alone, too. Never apologized for being strong." He smiled. "You're hired." Tears welled up in Maya's eyes. "Thank you, sir. You won't regret this." The elevator doors opened with a soft chime, and everyone in the gleaming glass lobby turned to stare. A young woman stepped out, soaked from the rain, clutching a tiny baby to her chest. Her blouse was damp, her shoes were worn, but her eyes held the quiet determination of someone who refused to give up. Her name was Clara Evans. 27. Single mother. College dropout. She had come to interview for a position at one of the largest companies in the city, Blake Industries. She was already late, and her baby, Noah, was starting to fuss. As she walked toward the reception desk, she could feel eyes following her. The polished employees in their designer suits whispered softly, and she tried not to listen. Her hands trembled as she signed in. "I'm here for the assistant position," she told the receptionist, her voice steady despite her nerves. "With Mr. Blake." The receptionist blinked. "Mr. Adrian Blake? The CEO?" Clara nodded, adjusting Noah in her arms. "Yes, ma'am." The woman hesitated. "Ma'am, are you bringing the baby into the meeting?" Clara's face flushed. "I'm sorry, I don't have anyone to leave him with. But I promise, he won't be any trouble." The receptionist made a quick call, whispering into the phone. After a moment, she hung up and looked surprised. "Mr. Blake says to send you in." Clara took a deep breath and stepped inside the office. The room was enormous, modern, elegant, and intimidating. Behind a massive oak desk sat Adrian Blake, one of the youngest and most successful CEOs in the country. His reputation was that of a perfectionist. Cold. Calculated. Ruthless. "Miss Evans," he said, standing. "Yes," she said quickly. "I'm so sorry I brought my baby." Before she could finish, Adrian crossed the room, gently taking the baby from her arms. Clara froze. "It's all right," he said, smiling down at Noah. "He's not a problem. Children never are." Clara blinked, stunned. She had expected frustration or rejection, but instead, she saw warmth. A rare softness behind his sharp, commanding presence. "Let's begin," Adrian said, motioning her to sit. As she answered his questions, her nerves slowly faded. Adrian listened carefully, occasionally bouncing Noah lightly in his arms. When the baby giggled, even Adrian smiled, a sight that made the entire room feel lighter. When the interview ended, Clara stood. "Thank you, sir. I understand my situation isn't ideal, but I'll work hard. I just need one chance." Adrian looked at her for a long moment before replying. "Miss Evans, I don't hire ideal people. I hire capable ones. You start Monday." Clara gasped. "You mean, I got the job?" "You earned it," he said simply. She left that office with tears in her eyes, holding Noah close. For the first time in years, she felt hope. The first few weeks were hard. Clara juggled early mornings, daycare drop-offs, and long hours at the office. Sometimes she had to work late, sometimes she skipped meals to meet deadlines. She faced Chu,